Right, welcome back, everybody. I'm glad you're here. I'm at one of my go-to places because the parks yesterday was too windy. The parks were just. I'm too old school to be filming in front of people and talking to a darn telephone I'll find a place that's private. So here I am at one of my go-to places. Getting into this week's video. This week's video is how evading or sliding is more important than blocking. Okay, um, this evading or slides is an art in itself, you guys. I mean, my oldest son, he could move and a foot would just go breezing right past him, and then he would be like a machine gun after that, just rapid fire. And I mean, his timing was beautiful with that. A lot of people, when they get into slides, I used to yell at my adult students, slide, they're not evading, they're just going back. And they would say they didn't know which way to go. I would say, go any which way. This is why it's called sparring. This is why it's practice, to where you start seeing the body and how their mechanics are set up to where they can only do this or do that, or they can do this, but they've got a 5% chance of doing this, but a 95% chance of doing that. You start seeing this, it starts registering, and you start evading. Okay. I always tell people to evade to the backside. So if somebody was here with me, to slide off this way, because what all options do I have at that point? But if you slide here right into someone's frontage, I mean, that's just, they've got more options. All right. So always get off to the angles. Teacher, Grandmaster Gene L. Chicoine, for those of you that don't know, but teacher would talk about evade counter, or block, evade, counter. So if I had to block or I had to do something to stop it, and then evade, and because if you don't evade, you guys, it's like being on railroad tracks and a train's coming. Yeah, I might be able to put a hand out on that train one time, but it's going to run me over. I've got to get off the tracks. All right. Another thing I wanted to talk about with sliding, evading, is basically if I'm going to my left foot will lead me there. If I'm going to the right, my right foot will lead me there. If I do the opposite, like if I go to my left, but my right foot takes me there, you see I'm turning the back to the opponent. So you want to keep it. And I mean, there's times where you could pivot and go, but bottom line is, the basic rule of thumb is, if I'm going to my left side, I want my left to lead me there. And that doesn't mean just getting off to the side like that. It could be going up. All right. Filipinos in the Filipino martial arts, I've seen them train where there's a V, and they will work off of that V. So these angles are not new to anybody, but when I heard it said to me that, evade, counter, block, evade, counter, it really registered for me. Okay. If I'm standing here right now and I just go off to the side, I completely moved my whole body. If a cannonball was coming at me right now and I just went here, it would go past me. All right. That's how little of a movement you need to make in order to evade something. All right. What else did I want to say about evading? Evading, you guys, is magical when you've practiced it and you're able to do it good. And I know a lot of people on my channel are older guys, and they might not spar too much anymore or anything like that. But just that simple tactic of evading will keep you out of harm's way, really improve everything. Another thing I did want to say about that is, we would take short spots. You see how my right foot is back and my right foot's leading me back. Well, when I go with my left, you can see the distance I get here or here. You see how it really gets me out of harm's way, and then I'm able to move right or left. All right, but keep that in mind, you guys. Evading is more vital, in my opinion, than blocking is. All right, of course, people are going to write in comments, but of course, you don't have a choice sometimes. You do not have a choice. You have to block. All right, but when you've got the options, move, because as long as you're moving, you're winning. All right, you guys, that's this week's video, because I've been having a bear of a time trying to get this going and get this video filmed, and we will get it loaded and it'll be ready for you tomorrow morning. If you're not subscribed, do so. What the hell? And if you like the video, if you like any of my videos, start getting used to hitting that like button and help me out. All right. Peace be with y'all.